Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today is day 54 of my e-commerce journey, and today was a pretty relaxing day. I didn't do work for the entire day, like 14 hours. No, I went out for lunch with my friend today, and in the afternoon we went to a few supplement stores to just have a look at what the competitors are doing. So we went to the supplement stores, went to the area with my niche of products, and we were looking through all the different competitor variations out there, because you can look only so much online. They don't have the actual dosages on their websites, or you can't find them online. So we went in person today just because it was like one of them was right next to the restaurant, so I was like, why not, let's check it out. So we looked at all the dosages of these competitor supplements, and well, I can't say much because first of all, I'm not a professional and when it comes to any of this, just based off the past week of doing deep research with AI using ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. I've got a paid plan with Gemini and ChatGPT. So just from my experience over the last week of research and doing my own manual research as well, looking into clinical trials and identifying what are the actual good dosages for these different ingredients, these active ingredients. And I'm pretty confident to say that a lot of these competitors, they have a lot of fluff ingredients. They have a lot of ingredients, but even the ingredients that they are promoting as their key ingredients, it's very, very underdosed. Well, it's good for, I guess it will still provide some effect, but it's nowhere near the suggested dosage from any of the clinical research that I've looked into. It's way below that. And this is a pretty big market. But in this space, there's actually not a lot of competitors. It's mostly very well established brands that's been running for decades and close to centuries. And this is the same case for both the New Zealand market and the US market. So it's just dominated by these like long, very, very old brands. So I don't like those. A lot of those brands, their dosages, they're using very basic ingredients. Same with New Zealand and US. These big dogs in these markets, they're using the very, very, very basic ingredients that's proven to work, which is great. And a lot of these other, I guess, smaller brands and newer brands, their dosages, just from based off my experience, is not that great. And I could be very, very wrong here, but that's just what I think based off my past week of research. And I'm quite confident about that as well, because honestly, now that you have the power of AI, you have the power of, especially now, like with the deep research tools, the functionality that's built in to most of these AI models, you're able to you basically have all the information that's available on the internet, and you're able to summarize all of these information within the span of 10 to 15 minutes and get the essence from what you're looking for. And obviously, when you utilize the deep research functionalities, you want to manually validate it as well, just to make sure that the claims and whatever the AI is spitting out is true. And I would say 95% of the time it is true, and 5% of the times it makes very, very silly errors. And you just have to manually, especially for the very important things like the dosages for these ingredients, you really want to make sure that whatever AI is saying to you, you can validate them with a lot of research papers and a lot of clinical tests that's been done using this ingredient for patients or for like and you really got to make sure that these research paper you're looking at is doing it's a good research, meaning that they've got their control groups, they've actually it's a good sample size, and they've done it over a valid amount of period, like meaning like it's not just over 2 weeks or something like that. It's actually done over a minimal amount of time that's required for this to actually show with an effect. Yeah, I don't know if that really makes sense or not, but yeah, some reason I'm really tired today as well. I just woke up and my eyes felt dry and I just kept yawning throughout the day. And maybe I gotta hop on some caffeine just to keep me awake. So, oh my god, why did I... It's already 6 minutes? Holy, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, that was that. And, yeah, this is another great sign that this is a great market to be in, because there's so much improvements to be made on these existing formulas, and there's so many things you can do with marketing as well. Yeah, so many angles you can go after, and yeah, we have 2 very solid angles, and one of them is that our ingredient is just scientifically better. Scientifically validated by AI. Well, yeah. So I'm very confident right now that if I was suffering from this problem, I was in this demographic, then this would be my top choice, like no doubt in my mind. And also everything is sourced here in New Zealand. It's made in New Zealand. And now that more and more people are conscious, more and more people are health conscious, more and more people are looking into, where are these products sourced? Are they following good hygiene practices? People are more aware of what they're putting into their bodies. So having that edge as well, it's giving us a very big advantage and allows us to position ourselves as a more premium brand. Yeah, like just combining science with nature is a very good angle that we're going after here. Another sale today, very nice, with no ad spend. Okay, right now I have all my campaigns. I have one campaign running at $1 per day. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want to turn it off. I want to keep it running at a very low budget, just so that after 6 months, 1 year, it's still running. So when these people who's scouting our competitors, they see our ad and they're gonna think, oh, this ad has been running for 1 year. It must be ripping cash. It must be doing really well for them to be keeping it up for 1 year. But in reality, it's not generating sales. It's just running at a low budget. Well, some of them are, but I have around 20 ads running in that one campaign, and they're running at $1 per day. And yeah, I can guarantee that not all of them are good ads. But the sale that we did get today, I'm suspecting that it came from Instagram Reels, because I've been posting a reel daily on our Instagram page for our brand. And yeah, we've managed to build 30 something followers. I think the sale came from there. It must have came from there, because it's not showing on our meta ads section. So yeah, I don't see how otherwise they would have gotten to our website. So yeah, I guess first organic sale. That's very nice. And I emailed her today saying, look, the classic, we sold out. You have to wait a month or more than a month. And also we're upgrading our formula. Yeah. And she got back pretty quickly, within an hour, saying she's happy to wait. Yeah, which is a really great sign. Like, we've got more than 50% of the people who ordered agreed to wait 1 month plus. I think that's a very good indicator that people value this product as a good high value product, so they're willing to wait for whatever, 1 month, 2 month, despite them suffering from this existing problem. So yeah, that's very, very nice. And this evening I looked more into the legal and accounting side, because I want to start tracking my expenses, because ultimately keeping track of my expenses and then filing for GST returns in the future. And also it's just nice knowing how much you're spending as well. And also I was trying to learn a lot of the accounting and legal things with ChatGPT. One thing that we have to do is set up a LLC in the US. And I think right now we want to set the company in Wyoming, because it's got very, very cheap startup fees. It's got one of the most simpler processes out of all the states, and also it offers good privacy to the owners, so you don't actually have to list your name publicly on the registrar. Yeah, and because neither me and my business partner were US citizens, so I have to work with the US agency. So yeah, I was just scouting around and looking for options. It's a really hard thing to do right now. It's a pretty complicated process, especially if you're not a non-resident. So yeah, just looking at options and how we can do it. It is quite expensive to hire an agent to do it for you. So what I'm thinking right now is just looking for a registered agent who just acts as your physical mailbox, and whenever you receive a letter from the state, from the government, then they will scan it and send it to you digitally, and they will provide you an address to use for your business as well. But there's a lot of things with applying for the EIN, the employee identity number, I think it's called, and also because ultimately our US LLC will be owned by our New Zealand limited company, because that way it will make the passing the profit very easy, because since the LLC is owned by the New Zealand company, then all the profits generated in US will be, or naturally will be passed to the New Zealand body. So that way we don't have to pay any personal or company tax in the US. Whereas if we set up our company, our LLC in the US as a member, so let's say if I was to set up the LLC under my name, then when we actually claim the profits from the US LLC, it will have to be transferred to me first. So that will count as a personal income. So in that way, I've got a personal income, and then because the limited company we've set up right now, it's a 50-50 equally split between me and my business partner. So it will have to go from the LLC to me, and then to the New Zealand company, and then from then on the profit will be split. So if we do it like that, from just my understanding right now, I will have to pay income tax and a New Zealand income tax as well with the company. So I will get taxed twice. Whereas if the New Zealand company owns the US LLC, then there's no tax. The profit goes straight from the US LLC directly to the New Zealand company, and then we'll just have to pay a 28% tax with our profit with here in New Zealand. And yeah, so getting the US company set up will be a headache. I have booked 4 discovery calls with 4 different agencies in the US, and that will be 2 of them are on Monday, 2 of them are on Tuesday. So yeah, just looking out for different options and seeing what is the best way for us. Because right now, another problem is that since the company will be 100% owned by our New Zealand company, then there is a thing, whereas if your US LLC has 25% of its holdings owned by a overseas entity, then you have to file these pro formas with the IRS, which is this very, very complicated looking form. I had to look through it. It was 6 pages long, and the first page, the text was in like font size 6, and there was like 50 input boxes that you had to fill out. Yeah, so that was called the pro forma, like 5740 or something. And there's also another form. I can't remember what the form is called, but there's 2 forms you have to fill out if your US LLC has 25% ownership with owned by overseas entities. That's the most complicated part. A lot of the agencies who offer these type of services, their starter package, which is usually around 300 to 500 USD, it doesn't include the IRS filings. So that means the most complicated part, which is filing the pro forma to the IRS, they don't include that, and that's the part we need the help with the most. So right now I'm just looking for like booking these discovery calls with these different agencies to just get a grasp of what is there to actually do for us to set up this entity successfully, and what bank account we should go for. I think we're just gonna go with Wise. But I have to look more into that as well. So what else? So that the business, got a big call coming up on Wednesday with the US agency, and that will determine our fate, whether we're gonna move into the US. If not, then we will just sell in New Zealand AU, which has already been validated from minimal ad spend, already getting great ROAS. Well, I think that's all. I'm still slowly refining the pouch design, trying to really make it stand out. Right now, I'm still not too satisfied with the heading. I think we've got some really nice graphics and the background design for our pouch. It looks great, but the heading, it doesn't stand out that much. It has the same color with all the other text, and it's using the same font as well. So I really want to look for a better font and a maybe slight change of color, make it more attention grabbing, and make it very distinctive from the other packaging from the competitors. Overall, like right now, it's more of a chill period, just waiting for the ultimate call on Wednesday. Before then, I'll do everything I can to refine the ingredients more, refine the packaging, and get all the things that we need set in place. So once we have the green light that we can go ahead and expand into the US, then everything is set up and ready to go. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so go out with my parents to dinner, take them out to a good dinner, and I'm excited for tomorrow to put more hours onto the business. Very, very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting. I'm super pumped for what the potentials are. And another sale today just meant a lot. Like, we don't even have that much views, ads are not running, and got a random sale, and she didn't want the full refund after I told her that it's out of stock, which are all just great signs. Great signs. Sorry for the yapping, guys. It's 20 minutes again. See you guys tomorrow.